Hi there, and welcome on the journey to transform culture. I'm Steve, and I'll be your guide. Well, folks, today let's talk, a little bit about a nuanced way to get some improvement or some productivity or advancing, some growth in your organizations. Get some positive, get some wins. One of the perspective shifts, if you will, for 2025, we'll call it perspective shift number one, and that is transformation. So think to yourself, what does transformation mean to you? Do you think, well, we've all got to get together, we've all got to come up with this grand plan? Is it something that is a monolithic in your mind? It takes up so much space, it seems complicated, and it's going to upset my norm of how I operate, all these things, right? Transformation can feel daunting, can feel disruptive if you let it get into your mind and worm its way around. So let me simplify and get you off on a very elemental start to transformation. Here's what I want you to do for yourself as an individual. And if you perpetuate this across your team, no matter the size, doesn't matter if it's organizationally, departmentally, whatever. Think of it this way 3 minutes every hour, and I'm just using an 8-hour day. There's so many that work longer and so forth, but we'll use a baseline of 8 hours just to keep math simple. 3 minutes every hour comes out to 24 minutes, but let's just round it up to 25, right? It is 2025, so let's just use 25. So 25 minutes a day broken down into each hour is 3 minutes every hour. If for 3 minutes every hour you're more productive, and that can be different for different positions in your organization, whether it's you produce more product, inspect more product, ship more product, make more sales, and on down the line, depending on the department you're in. You do more accounting, whatever. But now I will say this, it's value added effort, right? So value added effort is something that is providing a service directly to a customer, or a process that is providing that service, or creating a product, likewise, for a customer. Administrative roles, sadly, don't necessarily fall into value added, into the value added segment. It's no harm, no foul, and it's no negative thing towards administrative roles. Now, that being said, there are administrative functions within administrative roles that do. So don't, start getting all twerky about it. All right. There's something that everyone does that is providing value to the customer. Okay. So we want to be more productive? 3 more minutes every hour, or 25 minutes more a day. And that is 20%. If you do that, they say, or it's, doing some statistics jamming in the past, 15 minutes of more productivity in a day can be as little as $200,000 for a small group of folks to a few million for a larger group of folks in a company for that organization. Okay. Now, so that's on the positive, right? That's digestible. Transformation. Think about it. 3 minutes every hour. I mean, come on, right? I think any of us can, if we really just thought about it. Now, another part of this too is you might spend the first time going, geez, what do I do differently, or what can I do more of, or whatever. That's fine. Spend a little time to think about these things. And what you'll find is that you might end up making a list of things that you're going to do to be more productive. And what you'll find is that you might be knocking out your 25 minutes to longer, in one fell swoop, right? You might go, hey, I'm going to go help the people in shipping because I know that, I'm doing a non-value added admin role. I'm going to go out there and help them at the end of the day. And that's going to get more product out the door. Those are fantastic. This is why certain levels of cross-training and helping out teammates, right, is useful by, having some cross-flow. because we want to get the customer served. It is about serving the customer. That is the bottom line in every organization. It doesn't matter if you're profit or not profit or government, okay? Now, that's on the positive, right? So let's talk about the negative. There are also things that are non-value added, right? They can lead to value add, but in general, the functions themselves are non-value added that take people away from value added activities. So if you have somebody working in a plant and they're making widget A and somebody else is B and widget C and D or whatever it is, right? Different stages of process, whatever. Interrupt them less by 3 or more minutes every hour. So if you're HR, don't interrupt your don't interrupt your production team when they're cranking out product unless it's an emergency, right? So you got to have some discussions on what qualifies as an emergency, okay? So, and this is where I find radios are very, very good because, rather than having somebody walk all the way over to some office to answer a 10-second question, you can just call them up on the radio or phone or PA or something of that nature, okay? But interrupt people less by 3 or more minutes every hour or 25 minutes less a day. What form can this take? This can take the form of directly interrupting somebody from making a thing or communicating with customers, or another one is meetings. Hey, keep it the math simple. Chop 5 minutes off of every meeting every day. Do the math. If you're only doing 3 meetings a week, do the math, right? And go, okay, this is how much time we're chopping off each meeting to meet that criteria, because I have supervisors that aren't out doing this and that to make sure that certain things are occurring, and potentially in some instances, depending on complexity and variation of of what you make or provide, that could interrupt productivity, right? So those that are quality, right? Same way. It might be inspections or validations, it might be paperwork, whatever it is, shipping. So we want to interrupt folks' day by, 3 minutes per hour, less interruption. I would shoot higher than that because I think this is the bigger pervasive problem. It isn't always that people are like, oh, they didn't produce and they didn't do the thing and whatever it is. It's typically because they were interrupted by non-value added activities in your organization. And that is what reduced their ability to, say, get product out the door on time. And you start adding all these things up, and then you go, well, gee, I can't figure out why our on-time shipping, on-time delivery is only like 79, 82%, right? And, well, look at how much you might be interrupting your personnel. If it's an engineer, it might be an engineer is creating, it might be an engineer who's designing something or software or whatever it is. Same way, interrupt them less. And then if you're an engineer in that same vein, produce more efficiently, effectively, and more. And when you do that, you're providing that same value. Anyway, so what does this mean? This means that you can be garnering 20% more effectiveness. And 20% more effectiveness is growth, it's job creation, it's elevating people to be able to handle the economy. But what you don't want to do, and this is what's been going on for a number of years, since 2020, sadly, we're passing the buck. We're passing our inefficiencies on to customers in the forms of, I stayed in lodging, and they wanted $5 for Coca-Cola, right? Hotel rooms now, it can be in the $170 a night, really, for just bare essential rooms. This is the kind of fleecing that goes on when we don't put our noodle to work to go, hey, 3 more minutes of efficiency, right? Well, I, could sit there and go, well, look how long it's taking for, people to be admitted into hospitals, or how long the process is for people to get their hotel rooms and their keys and all that, or how long it's taking for rental car services to get, see what I'm saying? We automate quite a bit, but so much more can be made more efficient in this way. It doesn't mean we have to eliminate jobs to do it. It just means let's automate where it makes sense, okay? And let's not charge people $5 for a small bottle of Coca-Cola. Are you kidding me right now? That's just insanity. And this is what you see in industry. And we see this lumped into, well, logistics and our supply chain. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm calling the BS flag. I'm throwing the BS flag on the field right now. What it is you're not listening to your people, getting heads together, improving your organizational culture that will empower the change you need to then rise to the level of demand that your customers have. Instead, you're passing the buck and the cost on to your customers. And that's a foul. And that's a big foul. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see these larger industries start to fall and implode if they don't do the simplest thing of transformation, and that is start empowering your people to improve, allow them to put their heads together and start listening to them, their ideas, and start putting them into practice. Because you have people probably walking out your doors, or companies you know of, or maybe you came from one, so you can validate this too, who are leaving because the management team isn't listening to the team at large. And the team is where you're going to find all your improvements. Look, 3 minutes per hour. It's not rocket science. Stop interrupting people by 3 minutes or more per day or per hour per day. That's very doable. And then jumping in to help out, in how we invest that 3 minutes. I go help shipping. I go help quality inspect some product. I call back some customers, do some follow-up calls with customers, whatever it might be. Depends on your role. We have to stop making transformation this like brain surgery. It's not brain surgery. It just requires you to care. You need to step up and care. And if you step up and care and you do this simple thing, what you're going to see is you're going to see some improvement. In about a month's time, you're going to start looking at all of your key performance indicators starting to bound upward. And you're going to say, wow, that was simple. Yeah, isn't it? All right, folks, just talking a little bit today about, just one suggestion. Suggestion number 1 toward transformation. All right, folks, until next time, remember to hit that good domino 3 to 5 times a day to uplift, motivate, inspire, and encourage other folks. And when you do that, not only are we transforming culture in our organizations, but we're transforming ourselves, and that's an amazing thing. All right, folks, hit like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.